This weekend, Andy is summoning the megazord, Ryan accidentally buys real estate, and we play as an immortal shape-shifting Wario. I'm Ryan,
I'm Andy.
and this is Weekend Rental, episode 213. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. Andy, how have you been?
Not too bad. Scrambling because forgot what day it was, apparently.
Well, I did
And,
move the
and
podcast
to do
on us,
podcasts.
so that's I'm partly to blame for that, so it's my fault. Yeah, we talked a little bit last Friday. We get to jump into a game, Sea of Thieves, and test out the new
Yeah.
season with our friend Frazier. And it turns out that new season's a bunch of bullshit. And we wasted like however long it took to do that mission and got like zero out of it.
Yeah. I feel like there's got to be something we're missing.
Or maybe not. I don't
Maybe not.
know.
Or maybe it's one of those things where it's just like an extra thing that you're doing other things and you see the stuff. So
Yeah.
you might as well just kind of carry it around. And if you get to it, you get to it type of thing. I don't know.
And maybe that's why that stuff was on the pirate ships. So we learned the hard way that pirate ships now come equipped with like the smugglers TNT barrels. So that ended horribly for us on accident twice, which
Yeah.
basically just like insta sinks your ship, and then you're just like, well, what the hell now? So
Yeah. Used to be, they've, yeah, the ghost ships used to be no problem.
yeah,
But now they're you don't want them by you apparently.
no, not at all. But yeah, just that whole like fact that they introduced a smuggler faction that does not have its own guild or faction or flag or rep at this point. It it was basically just a super elongated merchant quest, which merchant was already the worst faction. Like
Right.
you just made it shittier and longer and like way more unpredictable.
Right. And there's not a specific place. Or I mean
Yeah,
there probably is, but it's not like it's all the other outposts that you can do merchant quests anyway, right?
right. Like if you're gonna put in
So,
the time, you want the rep or you want the treasure. And like you pointed out, like we turned in all the loot and got zero rep and zero treasure for that. Like I think we made like 10,000 gold maybe, but that's not like in an
no.
hour and a half of Sea of Thieves. That's nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, we could have done any other quest and like just hand over fist made money.
Yeah.
So yeah, disappointing because this year has been very strong with new content. Like I was really getting amped on the game.
Yeah. And considering that, their other projects been canceled now, you would hope that there's probably something bigger coming, something a little bit more in depth than
Yeah,
just kind of bolting on this stuff.
yeah,
I would hope.
it was like I kind of didn't get what they were doing with that. Like, and hopefully they fix it at some point. But they've already announced what the next season is, and the second half of like what's still being introduced in this season. And I don't think they're fixing this thing in the near future anytime soon. So
Yeah. Hmm.
it's disappointing. But
Yeah. Live service games, right?
yeah, at least Frazier got his like a commendation for sinking ships a bunch because I think he sank like six times in that session, which isn't out of the ordinary some nights, but like when you really haven't, we didn't encounter another player once. Like it was just like a random game ship blowing us up,
Yeah.
which shouldn't happen that frequently in Sea of Thieves, but I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, it is one of those nights where you're like, we picked the wrong thing to do. Like,
yeah,
obviously we had to try what
yes.
the new stuff, but now we
And
know. Yeah.
and then when we did try something that we knew was more reliable, the crate thing or the keg barrel just like ended our fun pretty quickly. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I think we can just wrap this. This is the game telling us to just fuck off for the night. So it was still fun
Yeah.
though, but
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna have to switch it up for the next game night because I don't think jumping back into Sea of Thieves right now is the thing. So we'll see.
Yeah. I do enjoy Sea of Thieves, like that type of. There's specific. I really like the vault ones. Those are fun.
Yeah, yeah, and we got like 2/3 into the vault one, but we just at that point it's like midnight's rolling around and like how much longer are we gonna be here? So
Yeah. The booby traps are
Yes.
interesting, but I guess like once you know, once you do that the first two times, then it's like,
Right.
well, they kind of wear off, I guess. But
And I feel like they planted those booby traps strategically just so you would inadvertently blow up the payload and kill yourself and your whole team. So
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
shitty. But it was still, I mean, you make your own fun in Sea of Thieves, and we still had some fun, but it was not productive. I'm sure I was down in gold by the time like we'd bought all the supplies and everything for the night. So
yeah. I guess it's just disappointing that like they haven't really expanded too much of what the core game is. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's still pirating to different islands and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
at this point, you would think in a live service game, it's like, well, there's a lot more like, oh, you go to this island and it's a whole other thing, right?
yeah, they're missing the whole make the world feel alive because it's very
Yep.
rare. I guess that last time we played, where we played as Reaper, like it felt like a populated game and like it was like actual chaos. But those nights don't happen often.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun though, but
Hmm.
also disappointing at the same time. I think my anticipation for that season was just instantly squashed once I realized what we got out of that. Plus, like we were saying, like I think everywhere we sailed on that map, we were either in the storm or on the verge of the storm the entire session, so it just kind of
Yep.
sucked.
Yep. Yep. I have been playing a lot more of another live service game
Oh, I see
that,
that.
when you compare it, I mean, it's not unfair to compare Sea of Thieves to Fortnite, obviously, because it's one makes billions of dollars and the other one is still popular, but
Right.
it's amazing that Fortnite can breathe new freshness into it every season and add something wild and crazy to it. And by the end of the month, you're sick of it. Like, you don't even want to do the thing that it's trying, the new thing that they've added at that point. But
Yeah.
I just wish maybe Sea of Thieves did some stuff like that. I mean, I guess they're a little bit more precious about being a strictly pirate game, so it's obviously you're not going to have all the wild tie-ins, but
Also, I think their engine is like held together with like duct tape and like super glue at this
yeah,
point. So,
yeah. There's definitely still bugs in that game for sure.
oh yeah.
But yeah, they have Power Rangers, which is right up my alley. The game continues to reap on people's nostalgia like that. So,
Do you have to buy the skins? I suppose too.
the battle pass includes the Green Ranger
Okay.
and
The
the
worst
white.
ranger.
You can turn them white too if you want.
Sure. It's still
But yeah,
Jason. Or no,
if
yeah,
you want
Jason, right?
Jason, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. If you, but yeah, then you have to buy all the other colors, I guess, if you want those. But and from what I can tell, they've strictly, keeping to the original diamond shaped, outfits and all that. So
Sure.
it's not like it's getting crazy into like every new season that they had,
I
and
mean, we're
all
like
that stuff.
30 years deep in that stuff, so
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. If you're doing nostalgia, you just got to do the beginning stuff, right?
That's pretty cool. I suppose like it's just mostly cosmetics too for the weapons. Like you're using their like pistols and stuff, but it's just doesn't change the gameplay in any significant way.
Well, there's one major thing that happens usually every round is the megazord
Oh,
is like summoned, and the first person to it gets to control it, and you're just a
sweet.
giant thing on the whole map, and you're trying to kill a giant bug that Rita turns huge or whatever, so you're killing that. But then you're also trying to squash all the little people that are trying to shoot at you below because everybody else gets rewarded depending on how much they damage you. So it kind of
Nice.
turns into a one versus many thing in the middle of a match, which is pretty cool.
Is it pretty balanced, or like if you get the Zord, like you're probably gonna win?
Yeah, I mean there is a timer, so like you're gonna
Oh,
run out
okay.
of the Zord anyway. But
Sure.
yeah, so it's not unlimited, but it definitely feels pretty good when you're in the Zord, obviously, because you can just wreak havoc, and everything is so tiny and small compared. But It's amazing that, you can be in that giant map and then, the music starts, the intro to Power Rangers, and then the pieces are just flying all over from the other, pieces of the Zord are flying together in the middle of the.
That sounds pretty cool.
That's that's what's impressive, that they can keep the same scale of the giant map that they have, but also like have things happen like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's a cool tie-in. And I'm sure
Yep.
it sold lots of skins too, so
Oh yeah. Yep.
works all the way around.
I just wonder how long they. I mean, that thing still runs on PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, and the original
Switch,
Switch.
Switch.
Poorly.
Yeah. Like at some point, if they want to keep doing stuff like that, I mean, they got to start. Like this
Yeah.
thing doesn't run anymore.
I would imagine at some point, like the engine just gets too updated and they have to phase like legacy platforms out.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. They this last weekend I didn't try it, but they added some mode that has like local voice chat or something like that, and like
Oh,
you
really?
can like join up, group up and stuff like that.
Seems
I
scary
don't
for
know.
children.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but in the landscape of Roblox, it was a weird choice, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it seems like Epic too is pretty sensitive about like keeping things PG for kids. I mean, they have the parental
Hmm.
controls in place, but like how many parents set up those accounts? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I did, and it was a nightmare, so
oh,
I
same
never
here.
want to do
Yeah,
that again.
yeah. I was not a fan, and then yeah, the whole like creating a third email because all the other emails have been used, and
Yep.
but at least he can't talk to strangers, and that was the goal. So
Yep. Yep. But with
yeah,
one switch, now it's all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know about the parent thing. If you can control modes that they can play.
yeah. That's a good question. The parental controls on like the Switch and stuff, you can get pretty granular on like which games even they can boot into. So I kind of just let him play whatever he wants, but I have chat restricted to friends only.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't played much for games because I've been off this week. So my wife and I did some camping. Just got back today, um, and then did some hiking, did some camping, did some breweries around the area. It was beautiful weather, so we got to kayak and be outdoors and do all that stuff. Make
Mm.
steaks over the fire. And then like the second half of this week, we were gonna. The plan was to remodel our kitchen and update all that. Surprise twist! Turns out I bought a house though when I left for vacation, and I wasn't aware of it. So got to the campsite, set everything up, was going to get like groceries and stuff, and like checked my phone. And I was like, oh, so that incredibly lowball offer I put on the house that I assumed was going to be declined, they accepted. So I guess
Oh,
I buy a house now and I have to like sign disclosures and like get inspectors lined up, and so my week has changed drastically. So
wow.
yeah. So now I'm doing an inspection tomorrow. I meet with the bank on Friday to figure out loan options and what we're going to put down, and then I guess I need to start packing up everything you see in the background around me if you're watching the video, because I got to get all my shit out of my house. So kind of crazy.
That's really exciting. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I want to throw up. I mean, the rest of the family's excited. I don't handle big monetary or life decisions well, so this is awful for me. But yeah, it is exciting, and we got a incredibly good deal on this house. So I didn't think they'd go for it. They'd already like we looked at this house and like had some complaints, and I knew what things were going to cost to fix. And then like it just kept dropping since we looked at it, and like it was down 25,000. I offered 25,000 under what they're currently at, and then
Huh.
got a deal. So yeah, so I'm moving not very far, but I'm moving into a much bigger house. So we'll have I think it's 5 bedrooms, like 3.5 baths. So
Wow.
two of those
Yeah, that's
bedrooms are very small, but
still that's wow.
so yeah, like we're projected to close at the end of October, so it's coming up
Oh
quick.
wow, that's really fast. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then just been like some back and forth because we're like dicking around on like, well, they're gonna repair some siding thing that's under warranty. I'm like, I don't give a shit about the siding, but okay. And I was like, well, if they're repairing it under warranty, it should be done before I do the inspection. And they claim they can't possibly make that happen before the inspection date is due. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're inspecting it with the shitty siding on, and then you're going to get your house appraised with the shitty siding on as well. So whatever. It's fine. So yeah, so trying to figure that all out now, which is crazy. And not to mention, I still have stuff I have to update at my house, just not my kitchen anymore. So we got painting we're doing the next couple of days, and I got to patch in some flooring. And
yeah. On the flip side of that, now you have to sell your house. That's a whole other thing.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's the part that like is vomit inducing to me, because it's like, wow, I'm obviously drawing equity out of my house to like put a big down payment on this one, or a good down payment, and it's like, well, what if it doesn't sell? Like, or what if it sells for like half of what I'm expecting, and then I'm like in the hole 40,000, like then I'm fucked. And so I'm just trying not to think about that stuff. It should all work out just fine, but my brain doesn't go to just fine. My brain goes to like, you just fucked yourself. So in reality, it'll probably all be pretty smooth. So
Yep.
so we'll see.
Well, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. I guess everyone keeps telling me that. We'll go with it's awesome. So yeah, and then what was the other thing I did? Oh, Dreckerfest I did too after our last recording. So they had that big Dreckerfest. The brewery in town is called Drecker. And they have like a festival every year and get like weird craft brews and food trucks, and then they had the Motion City Soundtrack concert, which was actually really awesome, and it was free. So they played a really good set. And like actually my daughter was like really loving the band after that, and I was like, see,
Oh, really?
your dad
Huh.
doesn't just like shitty music. So then I gave her a bunch of the vinyl out of my collection. I was like, just put it back in here when you're done listening to it. So yeah, very, very good set. Like they put on an incredible live show, and like, you know, their singer, like he sings very like high register and stuff too, and just nailed it the whole time. I will say it was probably the
Really?
first time I've seen a live band where he had to take like a mid set, like, let's just chat while I like suck on my inhaler so that I can breathe again for the rest of this. And but yeah, very good show, especially for free, obviously. So
Yeah.
that was exciting. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I haven't gamed a lot. And then there was obviously the Nintendo Direct the day after we recorded last time, which was good and bad, right? Like 40th anniversary of Mario, but they're not really celebrating it in a very meaningful way. We're for some reason getting a Switch 2 native port of Mario Wonder that just came out, so that feels like a cash grab with some
Yeah.
DLC
Mini games.
bullshit. Yeah, that's also a cash grab. So I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this whole we're I mean, it's better than just straight porting it,
Is it?
but I don't know. I mean, would it be any cheaper if they were just doing a normal port? Probably not.
I mean,
So at least we're getting fun content.
what is the Galaxy 1 and 2 port costing us that's only coming out on Switch? There's no Switch 2 port for that. So I assume we're getting that for 60. Like that is such a bonkers choice
Yeah.
to not just like fuck you buy a Switch 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cuz then I feel gypped as a Switch 2 owner, like what did I buy it for then? Like this is a pretty significant release and it's available to everybody. Like sure it's going to run better on the Switch 2, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
That and it cuts off the whole 3D All Stars thing at the knees a little bit with all that
Yeah.
too, and it's well, that it's not surprising at all, but
No, it's not. It's just weird. Like I didn't feel like they did anything that like truly felt this is how we should celebrate Mario. And then obviously
with Yoshi.
Yeah, the Yoshi game. I'm like, why is this part of that? That is nothing. I thought they were gonna say like we were remastering Yoshi's Island, and I'd been like, no, fuck you. Like, we don't need this. We did get the release date for Prime 4, which was 12/4. Is that right? I think
Yeah,
December 4th.
December. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like we hoped, it's coming out this year. That'll be the big one.
With a motorcycle. Samus on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid for this now. Like, are they just making it like Zelda with Metroid in it? Like, is it Breath of the Wildified in some way that it doesn't need to be? I don't know. It looked cool, but it also didn't look like what I expect from Prime. And maybe that's okay. Still excited either way, I think.
Yep.
And then we got like a very cash grab. This game just came out DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza that I felt torn about. Like one, like it's a great game and it deserves DLC, but two, you clearly had this shit probably in the bag, and why wasn't it just included? And then I bought it and played it, and I don't know that that's worth $20. Like DK Island is cool, but it's just like a gold fountain. Like there's no real reason to be there, and like the kind of rogue-like elements of these bonus missions are not all that fun. They're just more like smash and race the clock. So it's kind of the elements of the game that maybe weren't my favorite component on full display. So
Yeah, I think we're maybe getting close to the we're over the hill on roguelikes, I think, now,
mm-hmm.
because when we're just bolting them on just for fun.
Yeah, and it's weird that they set it up like, well, you just go talk to the original big bad of this whole campaign, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll work for you now. Like I'm not after bananas, so yeah, we'll help you out. Like well, I don't know, it's weird. Like I played maybe 2 hours of it, and it's nice to have some more content, but I don't think I'm gonna probably get my $20 out of it, and that's more of a me problem maybe than the content. But it just feels a little dirty.
Remember when they gave DLC away on the expansion pass
Yeah,
for the
and remember the Wii U
whatever they're
era where
called?
they just gave you DLC
Yeah.
because like, hey, we're just gonna keep expanding this game.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
gosh.
Nintendo
The
feels increasingly like hungry and predatory on their fan base in this era, especially with all the amiibo they announced that we don't fucking need. And these
oh
things cost like 30 to $40 now.
yeah, it's crazy how much how expensive they are, and then it's not even like if it was a huge like the Donkey Kong one with Pauline, it's like okay, that's a huge
Sure.
landmark thing. But like all the other stuff, I mean, when we're getting like Kirby ones, which are cool that you can kind of switch them around and do that stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
you know
like
who else did that? Skylanders.
right, exactly, or whatever that ship one was.
Oh yeah,
The
that fucking thing. I still have that somewhere in a dustbin.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was a solid enough direct, like just based on the whole Prime finally getting its date, but there wasn't a. I was hoping for a few more like ahas or like this great thing is out now, and I don't know. It felt like a B minus sort of direct, I guess.
Yeah. How do you feel about the movie going directly into Galaxy? Like,
I don't think it'll probably tie in well. I forgot about that. Yeah, they announced the sequel to the Mario movie next spring. Chris Pratt's back, so we're all excited about that.
yeah,
I mean, that's tough, right? Because like Galaxy is so much of like when I think of the canon of the Mario universe, like those games are great, but I don't think they are mass appeal big. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe they had more of an impact on like the 20 something crowd than they did with me, but
yeah. I just think it's a lot of what you're getting out of that movie is the atmosphere of like the surrounding Mushroom Kingdom and all that stuff, and it's like, well,
yeah.
Galaxy obviously takes a lot of that away.
I feel like it's probably easy. It was a push from DreamWorks where they're like, well, we can do anything now because we've left the Mushroom Kingdom and then this is space. Because
Yeah,
it goes in really weird places in Galaxy, right? For like a Mario universe. So I think it probably was more just them getting the freedom to be like, well, we'll just DreamWorks the shit out of this and whatever we come up with, you know?
yep,
I was surprised that it's that far along. That obviously it's going to be almost completed if they're putting it in theaters in 9 months. So
yeah. I'm sure it'll make a lot of money again, but
yeah, are we going to get a sequel to Peaches though? Because Jack Black needs another banger.
yeah, I mean, he seems like you get a song whenever you get a deal with him.
Yeah, if he doesn't play the saxoboom in this one, I'm going to be upset.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, uh, Amanda was watching this, and she saw part of it, and she's like, "You need to buy that and send it to Ryan immediately." Any
Virtual
guesses on
Boy?
what this? Nope.
Oh.
The talking flower.
Oh God, I hate that thing. And I told my wife I'm probably already gonna buy it. Yeah, I hated
Uh,
those things so much. The fact that they just like have an ambient flower that will just like randomly speak to you is so creepy.
yep.
Like, what is it
It's like,
listening for? Yeah,
yep.
that I'm curious on the price point on that. Like, are we talking like a Larmo, $100, or I mean, if this thing's like 40, like sure, like it's a nice collectible and it does something fun, but
Mm.
yeah. And then yeah, that Virtual Boy announcement was the other big one. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking we're talking Nintendo, the company that for the longest time didn't even have the Virtual Boy in their timeline of consoles on their official website. And to see them like fully come back, fully embrace that, charge you $100 for a docking station essentially, or you could buy a Labo for $20.
Yeah.
But then to give you all 14 games, which I hope they give them to you all at once, but they'll probably trickle them out.
Yeah.
That was the cool part. Chris from Stone Age Gamer made a really cool video on how he theorizes, because the whole thing was like, well, you can only play these if you have the Switch Online expansion pass plus put it in this peripheral. But he's like, he was
How
like,
does that know that?
right, and he's theorizing that like that might not be true because with the Labo VR stuff, if you docked it, it just stopped the mirror mode and like put it 2D on the screen. So he's like, yeah, and most of these games are like totally playable in 2D by other means. And
Yep.
then I was like, oh, that's a really cool theory, and I hope you're correct. And then I made the mistake of commenting on it and saying like, I think that's a great idea. Like, these games are totally playable in 2D for the most part, and you don't really lose anything by not having the 3D. And then I forgot it's the fucking internet. And that people just go to comment sections to comment on the comments instead of just leaving them the fuck alone like they should. And those things, in my mind, are a channel to like talk to the content creator, not to get in an argument. So I ended up just deleting that post within about 2 hours after like the third comment, telling me how I was such a dumb fuck and the 3D is like the most amazing part of the Virtual Boy, which I'm sorry, internet, fuck you. It's not. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick at best. It's essential almost never. And those games are just fine in 2D. And I forgot why I hate YouTube comment sections, and
Right. Now,
it just annoyed
if
me.
if they brought this out as only 2D and they did not have this option for 3D, then
Uh-huh.
I could see people being somewhat disappointed.
Sure.
But to go the opposite way and say, hey, for accessibility's sake,
Yeah.
this is amazing to just have these games available for everyone to play.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there are several games in that catalog that like only use the 3D as a gimmick, and
Oh,
those
yeah.
people being like super critical of my opinion that it's just fine without, for the ease of just sitting on your couch, which is true, and that was the biggest like killer of the Virtual Boy was like you can't share the experience with anyone. So how does anyone else see that it's cool if they don't stick their face in it and when nobody's buying it? I don't know. It just
Right.
really annoyed me, and I wanted to be like, really? Like, how long did you leave your 3D slider up on your 3DS? Like, remember when they just forgot about that and made the 2DS? It's
Yep.
the same shit. You know what I mean?
And at least that you could just, it was still comfortable to play,
Right.
Whereas like the Virtual Boy is just not,
No. I'm very
it's
excited
not worth
about
the
it.
hassle.
I'm very excited about it genuinely. I just wish fucking gatekeeping fucks weren't all over the place, so
Yeah.
it annoyed me. And
I'm
that's
sure
why I
there'll
don't
be a,
comment on YouTube anymore.
I'm sure there'll be a 3D print that
Oh, yeah.
will be available for this thing immediately, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's about time they kind of like embraced the lore of the Virtual Boy. I mean, for a large section of the audience of Nintendo, most people probably, when you think of the millions and millions of systems sold, most people have probably never experienced it. So it's cool that they'll get to do that in whatever form they choose. So, God forbid you play it in 2D. only do 3D, everybody. You're going to lose too much.
Another 15 years, they're gonna have like a Wii U tablet that you can dock your Switch into to make it look like a Wii U tablet.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that they haven't like ever done something where like there's just like it would have been really cool for them to do something with the Switch 2 where like there was some connectivity between the dock and the handheld so that you could like still output audio on a second screen to a TV and like use
Yeah,
the tablet still. It's weird that they just never went for that.
I it has to be incredibly cheap because it's kind of reverse in the Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it's just kind of showing a display. There's nothing actually happening too much in the tablet itself.
Yep.
But yeah, you could have put just some chip in the dock that you could send a video feed over
Yeah.
from the tablet or from the Switch.
And it didn't
Even
have to be like fantastic range. I mean, the Wii U, you could
no,
get like 15 feet away sometimes and it would cut
right,
out. But like, just to have that option and like some of the, Nintendo Land like sort of tech demo things they did with that were cool. It would be fun to see them do more of that. But
yeah,
I mean, I guess
that
they've
was
done more
probably
of they've done more of like the screen share stuff between like Switch and Switch 2, but it's not exactly the same.
right. And I guess that sells more consoles. But
That's true.
if the other person has one too,
Yeah, it was interesting when I was out and about these last couple of weeks because I'll go into like certain Walmarts or certain Targets, and their display case is just full of Switch 2s. And then you go into other ones, and they don't have a single Switch 2, and it's all like OLED original Switch and like lights.
huh?
So like, I don't get how hardware is being like divvied out because it's. I doubt it's that they're selling out in these markets. It's just interesting.
Yeah, it seems like it's definitely hit capacity where
If you want one, you're getting one.
yeah, there's no shortage anymore for sure. But
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah. Anything else jump out at the direct with you?
uh, not I guess not really. What was the final thing? I don't even remember.
I remember
Gosh,
thinking
what
it
was?
didn't. Oh, Fire Emblem. Was that the Fire Emblem
Oh,
thing?
okay, yeah.
Because I remember
I
thinking
guess
like this isn't for me, but
I'm I'm might be ready for a new Fire Emblem. They
sure.
for a while there they were putting too many out, and I was like, the last two I think I did not play because it was just like this is just too much. But I might be ready for a new one. That one looked. I mean, obviously there's only so much. If you're going to keep it in a, these are guys on a grid and you're moving them around. It's only going to be so impressive, I guess. But the rest of it looked all right.
Yeah, yeah. The graphics look cool. I mean, I liked the art style, but I'll be curious to see if like they can keep the momentum going on that in the U.S. Because like, yeah, it really took off for a while, and then it seems like you said, they just oversaturated it and it
Yeah,
slowed. So
yeah.
I mean, it didn't help that they
Especially
had like the Fire Emblem Warriors going on at the same time and
yeah, and all
all of
that.
that.
And then how many were going into Smash Brothers? It was like, oh, another
Yeah,
Fire Emblem character in Smash
another
Brothers.
person with a
Okay.
sword. Great. Yeah, I was almost expecting a teaser of like a port of Smash Brothers Ultimate. Like honestly,
Yeah.
but maybe we're actually going to get a new Smash Brothers after he's done with Air Ride. Who
Boy,
knows?
that would be crazy. I don't know what you do. Um, I am looking incredibly forward to the Sonic Crossworlds. The reviews on
Yes.
that look really good,
And I loved the
and
old school commercial where they just shit on Mario Kart and
yeah,
had the like indie car. Like it was like straight a reboot of those '90s era cart or commercials. It was awesome.
yep. And they're doing the thing that everybody has said is, why didn't Mario Kart become Super Smash Kart?
Yeah.
And Sega's like, we'll do that then. We'll bring Minecraft and Pac-Man and Mega Man and all those guys.
Yeah, I'm
You
actually
know?
really interested in this one too, and that comes out tomorrow as if we're recording, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that might be like a day one grab for me. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't play their last one, but the two before that
Yeah,
were
very
really
good.
good games. So yeah, should be good considering
Yeah, and after
they're
like
gonna
what
be.
I consider a lackluster Mario Kart game in Mario Kart World, I'm I'm ready for something a little bit more.
Yep.
And I don't think Air
Yeah.
Ride's quite going to scratch that itch. So
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the card formula, I mean, obviously, a lot of that already is based on characters and things that IP, otherwise
yeah,
there wouldn't be Garfield cart and DreamWorks cart and all that
right.
garbage.
Yep.
But if it's stuff that you enjoy, then I guess it adds a lot of flavor to it. So,
Yeah, and they've always had like a solid foundation of more like skill base. I think it's more like talent in playing, whereas Mario Kart's just trying to like level the playing field for everybody, which
yep,
leads to some jank. But I mean, yeah, I agree with like that transformed one they did was probably one of my favorite kart racers,
yep.
even with
The
some of
drift
like the
system
rough
in that,
edges.
and, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you feel like you are earning your wins in those for sure,
yep,
instead of just getting a lucky draw and a power up,
yep.
or having to go to eighth place to get a lucky draw and a power up. Obscura, Clara Obscura, you've been playing that?
I started that today, actually.
Ooh, good.
Um, yeah,
I've heard good stuff.
I I didn't know what to expect because it seems, it's very French and seems very kind of pretentious, that type of thing.
Sure.
And it maybe is kind of that, but it's got a story that really grabs you right away. Um, there's kind of like they don't really get into why it's happening, but there's just like a rapture type sacrifice that happens every year. And then every year
It's
there's a
Hunger
group of
Games.
people. Yeah. Kind of, yeah, but they just turn into flowers, they just vanish.
Oh,
But then they try and go, then there's an expedition every year to try and stop this from happening, and that's kind of where the game kicks off, where you're in that expedition. So
what
the
style of game
graphics,
is this?
it's a turn-based role-playing game,
Oh, my
but
favorite.
it's incredibly action
Okay.
oriented. There's dodge and parries,
No.
timing, all that stuff well in it. Um, and they do some really smart stuff as far as like how you get your skills and how to use them. You have to hit with normal attacks. There's different ways you earn like ability points to create skills, So it's not just like, well, this person has a lot of magic points, so he can use all of his skills or whatever. It's per battle, you're managing like how that meter's going up and down and spending the points.
Sure.
So it's a kind of a resource management within each battle, even, which keeps it pretty tight and paying attention to a lot. Because a lot of time these type of games, you just kind of like zone out, right?
Yeah.
You, which, and sometimes that's what I'm looking for is that type of game where you can just kind of not
Yeah.
think too much. But this game is not that. You need to be on your toes, watching attacks,
Yeah, and those are
dodging
the type of
at the
games like
moments.
that, like turn-based stuff, where I can actually get into them because like I need like engagement instead of just picking something from a list. So
Yep.
it might actually work for me.
And the graphics are top notch. Like they're one of the few that you look at and it's like, okay, this is like this is cutting edge next gen stuff.
Nice. Is it Game
The
Pass? Is that where you're playing it?
Yep, it's on
Okay.
Game Pass. And I don't think it's too long, like 25, 30 hours, which
Oh,
is
yeah, for that type of
for
game.
that type of game. Yeah, it's not too bad. Um, yeah, once just the first kind of like level that you get to, it's crazy because it's just a huge meadow or like a really green forest, magical forest. The graphics are insanely bright and colorful. And then you just go into a cave and it just instantly turns into like the most gross gore stuff like possible. It was all your people that you were with, and then you just exit out the other side and you're back. And it does a really good job of like changing tones
Sure.
just based on the environment, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That sounds interesting. Maybe I'll have to like at least do some cloud play to just check out the visuals. So
It is incredibly French. Like there's so much French
do they
influence in
subtitle it
that.
like they're speaking French in
No,
game? Or
so it's all in English, but you'll start the game right away. You'll see like the Eiffel Tower is like all twisted up in this world, and there's right now I earned a mime costume who has a baguette on the back of his back.
okay,
So it's that type of game. The entire music is very like gothic French kind of, but it's somehow really good.
okay,
I don't know.
sounds interesting. Yeah, I keep hearing a lot about it, but yeah. Well, maybe with Game Pass, I'll give it a boot up one of these times. That's pretty new,
Yep.
right? Like last couple months it came out.
Yeah, I think this spring maybe
Yeah, so it's pretty. It's
something
new
like
to Game
that.
Pass then this month.
No, it's been out for a while now, so
Okay,
that's why I kind of hopped in because I'm like, I
it's
better
gonna go away.
get through this before
Sure.
it leaves because I have a feeling it's probably my type of game. I mean, turn-based RPG is my
Mm,
type of game. The setting was a little bit different than I would expected, but yeah, it's. I think I'm gonna finish this game and won't be surprised if it's one of my favorites this year. But
oh, nice, nice. I'm trying to think if I had anything else. I don't think I did game wise. I just wanted to circle back on. We're reporting late on it in the gaming community, but I think we talked about not that many episodes ago, two, three. Anyone familiar with the Game Chasers? Billy of the Game Chasers had gone to YouTube and announced he had a brain tumor, and then just like out of nowhere, because people were posting stuff like hung out with him, seems like he's doing good, and ended up passing away, which is super sad. Huge hit to the retro community. I think Game Chasers is one of the premier early YouTube gaming channels that made a conscious effort to step up and make a very episodic and produced, almost TV quality YouTube channel, which was unheard of back then.
right,
Um,
and because yeah, it did. I mean, obviously they were riffing off of like American Pickers, but
right, and that's what they were going for. And I think they originally tried to get it picked up on TV. Was the original goal.
yeah,
And yeah, super sad. I mean, he's like our age or my age, closer, a little older than me. I think maybe a year or so, and family, obviously. But I mean, I never got to meet those guys, but 100%, without a doubt, that channel, you know, enticed me and pulled me into the YouTube community. And me and I'm sure countless others would have never started YouTube channels had it not been for the Game Chasers. So it
right,
feels like you're losing a friend, even though like I don't know these guys, and you just feel for his family and friends out there.
yep. I mean, for a long time that we were doing the same thing as them, like
Yeah, the poor man's version, right?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's and the how fast it went too.
Yeah.
It just it
I guess there's the plus
it's
side of it, like
sad.
at least he didn't suffer, you know, indefinitely. But yeah, still just from discovery to like him passing was brutal. So
Yep.
my thoughts go out to his family and friends, and
Hmm.
I I've been watching a lot of obviously the algorithm's been pushing their content with all the people visiting and traffic. So I've been watching some of the old episodes, and that stuff still holds up. Just a few knuckleheads making stupid video game content, and it's kind of
Right.
timeless.
Well, and I mean, that's the other thing is that at some point the stuff that they were finding was no longer around. Like the stuff dried up. Like
Yeah.
it dried up big time. So the fact that they were able to still make good quality content based just on their personality for the most
Yes.
part,
Yep.
that says a lot.
Yeah. And the passion projects like the Game Chasers movie and stuff, like all that stuff is
Mhm.
great. And it's awesome that, they had a fan base that was willing to help them fund that and they made a great finished product. They should all be proud of what they accomplished with that channel. So
Yep. And I never heard anybody really talk bad about them at all, really, you know.
yeah,
Where
yeah. You think of
there's
a
a couple other
community,
in the other community in this
r-
community that's like,
right?
oh, they think they're better or whatever, but not them, you know.
Yeah, and in the retro community where there always seemed to be like inadvertent beef, like it just seemed like they kept out of it. Other than that Cheetahman 2 thing, but I think they got that guy fleeced like everybody on YouTube. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's sad. Um, well, I guess we're probably on the staff picks, huh? Well, I'll let you go
Yep.
first. I'm curious on this one.
Yeah. This I finally got to watch a movie, a newer movie that came out before you did.
Yeah.
That's usually not the case on this. You're usually the cutting edge guy on these movies, so
Yes, my kids have watched this one, or at least half of it, I think. But not
okay.
me.
Yeah, the new Superman movie just came on streaming for HBO Max. So we watched that the other night, and this one's, you know, James Gunn. I usually like most of the stuff he does. I
Sure.
mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, even the Super and stuff before that was excellent stuff. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's. I think that my favorite part about this movie is it has no baggage at all. It doesn't care about what happened before or after. There might be some stuff in there that's connected to other things, but it's just kind of like tongue in cheek, whatever. If you know, you know.
Sure.
You don't have to know anything. It doesn't even care about. I mean, it doesn't even tell you what Super. I mean, you're just supposed to know what the story of Superman, right? He's
Are they
Superman.
aware that
He
you can't do that with superhero movies? That's not how this
right,
works. A self-contained movie? What?
right, and yeah, no or you don't need the origin. You know who Superman is. He
Yeah.
grew up in Kansas. Blah 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 blah, and it's just like immediately stage. It's like minute one. It's basically like, oh, Superman lost a battle, so you're just kicked off right into, you know, a story of Superman, and it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's and you know James Gunn. You wonder, especially Guardians of the Galaxy. You wonder, oh, how much of that's going to translate to Superman, which is more straightforward. You
Yeah.
know, not so much silly like Guardians of the Galaxy is. There is a decent amount of jokes in this movie, but they are a lot more earnest in,
Yeah. Oh,
you
and
know,
it's
the
got an
Superman
established
stuff.
legacy, right? Like, you sort of have the freedom with Guardians of the Galaxy to do whatever you want, but
Yep,
people have a very clear picture in their head of what Superman is.
yep.
Does the dog steal the show?
The dog is definitely the comic relief of
Okay.
the movie. I would say a lot of it. There is another guy by Nathan Fillion. He's like a Green Lantern. He's in this movie too,
Okay.
and he's kind of does some of that too. But yeah, Superman for the most part is pretty straightforward, straight edge.
What's the runtime on that one?
Only 2 hours, I think,
I
which
mean, for a
is
superhero movie, that feels very
yeah,
conservative.
yes.
Nice. Any
Um,
like final credit teasers or anything for like another one down the road, or
no, I mean
no?
they
Really?
do have a couple that are just kind of like jokes,
Sure.
but yeah, they're
Wow.
yeah, they well, state of Warner Brothers right now, you have to wonder like what's going to happen because they when they announced this movie, they were like, "I'm doing this movie and this movie," and it was just going to be a whole another universe again. And it's like, I don't know, maybe just start at Superman and see where it goes. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've just my thing is like I've never found Superman movies particularly engaging, and he's not like a super interesting superhero to me. Just because like I don't know, he's like the special K of superheroes, right? Like he's just the plain like this was
Right.
the one that kicked it all off. Like, but
Well, and you know, he's obviously massively overpowered
yeah,
because he can do basically everything.
yeah.
So
How
it's
do you
like,
defeat the guy who can't be defeated?
yeah, and it's you could look at every situation in the movie and it's like, why didn't he do this instead with his other power? You know, it's like, wow,
Sure, you can't overthink it, right?
yep, yep,
Yeah. Well, that sounds cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. I know I've got access to it on Plex, so
yep, yeah. I would take a take a look at it because it's definitely not. It's way more enjoyable than the last one, couple or whatever that were
Sure.
just destruction fests. You know.
Yeah. And let's not forget that like god awful Batman versus Superman thing, and
Yep.
I think that was maybe the last one I watched with Superman in it.
Oh,
And
that one
that
was
was
terrible.
that was hard to get through.
Yep. Yeah. If these are way more enjoyable, and yeah, I uh, I appreciate how they are sticking to. You know, he's still wearing just blue and red. You know, straight blue
Yeah.
and red. Whereas like nowadays, you would think, oh, we got to modify that. We got to modernize that into something. It's like, nah, just whatever.
Just
Do it.
keep it traditional. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, the restraint is probably what made it refreshing, to be honest. After what
Yeah.
we've been subjected to with
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah. Um, there's a lot of political commentary in there as well.
Oh, that's good. That's not a
Yeah.
hot topic, you know.
No, it's pretty easy to see. Oh, that country is that country in real life, and this country is this country in life, and that person, oh, that's that guy. It's
Nice.
pretty easy to draw the lines, but
Oh, cool. I'll have
yeah.
to check that one out. Mine is just another throwback to retro YouTube. I'm sure you remember Captain S, and some of our listeners probably do from the old Screw Attack days. But I watched somebody
Mhm.
put a pretty good like retrospective like sort of documentary series out on YouTube. It was like an hour long video. So I watched that because I was like, oh, I totally forgot about Captain S. And then I went back and started watching those episodes in order. And I think there's only like 8 episodes of this web series where Captain, it's just like a spoof on Captain N the Game Master, but filmed with like real people. And he's Captain S because he loves Sega. And then they also kind of like incorporate like a lot of Saved by the Bell type acting. And like I think the one friend he got even in the show calls him like Preppy all the time, like as a nod to that. But yeah, that is a goofy, pretty funny old web series that still holds up. Obviously, it's just like Captain and the Game Master, where he gets like sucked into the Sega, and he's like doing these like really shitty voiceovers of like Sega games where they like poorly palette swap this like digitized guy into like Altered Beast and stuff, which is comical to watch now, but like it was kind of mind blowing back then. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's an era of YouTube that will not come back for sure, but there was some pretty good creativity back then.
It's too much work now to do something like that.
Yeah, for the 10,000 clicks you're going to get on a video.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I do recommend it though. You can still find the stuff. Screw Attack's long gone, obviously, but you can still find the Captain Ass videos out on YouTube. And if you haven't seen them or just want like a blast of nostalgia, it's still good. Pretty campy, but still good.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, there's a lot of that screw tack stuff that I definitely miss. I need to go back and see some of that.
Yeah. Yeah, their stuff, like Team Tiger Awesome, like back in the day, like
Hmm.
some of the stuff they were doing, like those old videos are so good. But some of it's probably best left forgotten too. But this isn't one of them. Watch it.
Yep. Huh.
Well, I suppose that brings us to the weekend rental, huh? So the weekend rental, we play a game for a given system. Andy and I will sink some time into it and give our opinions as to whether we would buy, rent, or burn said game. We are talking about a Game Boy Color game. We don't do this one often, that platform. And that is going to be Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. I hadn't played this, I don't think, at all up until this episode and the homework for this podcast. Had you been hands on at all before that?
I might have played like a few minutes of it, but didn't realize. I don't think that's enough to know that like, oh, this is a different game. You know,
Yeah.
this is definitely different than what they were doing before.
Yeah. Yeah, so this installment introduces like no death essentially, which is a big deviation from the previous two entries that have been like just kind of twisted Mario games. And this is, I mean, it's beautiful for the platform it's on. Like, everything's really wonderfully animated. You know, the transformations, the graphics, the character animations. Like, it feels really cool, but it takes the gameplay in like such a weird direction with the no death thing, and you're kind of you're left less with a platforming game and more of like a puzzle platformer where you're trying to figure out how to traverse these maze like levels and solve puzzles essentially than you are, you know, something more like a Mario game, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost like a Kirby game where you need the powers to progress specific ways because
Except,
you're getting the powers from the enemies
yeah.
in different ways.
But instead of a Kirby game where they intuitively introduce things that make logical sense for you to figure out how to progress, they just kind of throw that part out the window for the most part. And they're like, you're
Experiment.
transformed. Like, good luck. Like, I don't know
Yep.
how long it took me to figure out that I had to transform into a zombie to, like, drop through platforms. Like, probably 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very Nintendo game. I could see why they
Yeah.
would do this because it's very creative in like what they're doing as far as I don't know if you call them power ups, but yeah, transformations is probably the better way to say. And they're very creative, but like you
Yeah.
said, it's it's very much for how open ended it seems like. It's really not because you have to go get this thing from this guy
Mm-hmm.
to get to this spot.
And know that you need to use it somewhere else. It feels less like power ups or transformations and more like learning to work with your curse, which
Yeah.
feels weird.
Yep.
And
Because sometimes the curse is there for a reason. You're like, yep. And then sometimes you're just like, well, I gotta wait out this transformation because
yeah.
I don't, nothing's gonna happen here.
And there's also like that whole aspect of like, you know, the coin counter, the achievement at the end of each level, where it's like it's very clear that they expect you to replay these levels many times over to try and like 100% them. Which I guess isn't, you know, that's in a lot of Nintendo games and Mario games too, but at the same time, like I didn't find myself like drawn into wanting to do that. And it was neat to see a transformation and like play around with it, but it was also incredibly frustrating when, you know, you're 4 levels in and you feel like you've hit like this invisible wall and feel kind of clueless, and like I didn't want to turn to let's plays, and I'm sure it was straightforward and I was missing something obvious, but wandering around the same very small stage over and over again and just coming up empty handed felt weird.
Yep. And oftentimes you would get a transformation and you didn't want it,
Right.
so it was just annoying, and you'd have to burn off the clock on that because you did everything that you could with it,
Yeah.
but the
But it
guys are
wasn't in the
still
right
there.
place or the right use
Yeah.
case. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird game. I'm actually shocked that they did this. I mean, in a modern setting, I could see this game being exactly like this seems like a game Nintendo would make now. I mean, especially no death, all this stuff, right? But to do it that way on the Game Boy and I mean really emphasize like sprites and
Yeah.
graphics. I mean, obviously it was probably a showcase for the color,
Oh,
the Game Boy
100%.
Color, but this had to have been a only Game Boy Color, right? I
Yeah.
can't
I
imagine
think
this
so.
was. It
Yet the
seemed like the
detail
one.
is
Yeah,
just too good for a traditional Game Boy for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, and you know, having played the first two and owning the fourth one on Game Boy Advance, like this feels very out of place as a stopgap between that transition. Because four definitely plays more like what you expect a Wario game to be like, and I guess death really isn't so much an object there either, but it's definitely more in line with what you played in your first two entries than
yeah,
this one.
yeah. And when we're speaking of like no death, there's still you're still punished in a lot of
Sure.
ways. I mean, a lot of them will throw you all the way across another screen, just
Yeah.
because you got hit. So
Or turn you into a spring that like reverse like backtracks your entire progress down multiple layers.
yeah, that one sucks.
Yeah. But everything that happens to you with these like transformations is really gorgeous and well animated and looks really cool. It just also leads to an insane amount of frustration when you feel like you probably were more intending to just have like a lighthearted traditional platformer at your hands, and really they kind of gave you almost like a Krusty's Funhouse type game out of the deal. You
Yep.
know?
I Something like this modern would be really cool. Like, if you had a physics engine and you had different things that happen to you that adjust this physics for you to, let's say, explore an open world and get to different parts using that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, if you found out that if you ate too much food, you get heavier, and then you have to do different,
Yeah.
different things. That'd be cool.
It almost, you know what, like I hate to say it kind of reminded me of, but that like Jelly Boy game we played where it's like you don't feel like you've actually like gotten a power up. You just feel like you've gotten this thing on a limited timer that you need to figure out how to use it before you've screwed yourself. It's
Yeah.
very
At
much
least
in like,
Jelly Boy seemed like it was like, here's the power up, and this is the obvious use case right in front of you.
you're right.
Where this one is a little bit more, what's going on here?
Yeah. How far did you get into the game?
I played about an hour, so I didn't do
Okay.
too much.
That's about where I clocked in too.
I don't. Does it have bosses or anything? I don't think. I
If
don't
it does, I
even
didn't
know.
get to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hit a wall in like that fifth or fourth stage with the sand, and
Hmm.
I tried and tried and tried, and I didn't want to turn to a wiki, and I just called it. I was like, I think I get the gist of this, and I'm probably going to sell a little short because I'm sure it's got its diehard fans, but I don't know. I just don't think it's the formula for me in a Wario game.
At the same time, what is a Wario? They've kind of experimented with Wario here and
Yeah,
there. I
that
don't know.
GameCube one is weird.
Yeah, that one also is kind of out there, right? But I feel like he needs to be collecting gold.
Yeah,
He needs to fart and he needs to collect gold. And
yeah.
I don't. It's not really any of that in here.
No,
I
I
mean,
mean
it's some of the.
at the outset, the guy's like, you get to keep all the riches you find, but I'm like, I'm getting like 2 coins a level here.
Yeah.
And there wasn't even like the coin stash counter at the end like you always get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think you would give it on the Byron burn scale then?
Boy. I I gotta say I didn't enjoy it, so I think I gotta burn it. But it's really hard to say that because everything I can't. I have praise for the design and everything about it. It's just at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I did not enjoy playing it. So that's a burn for me.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to be the asshole here, but yeah, I also would burn it because there's probably arguments to be made for this, but I think if you're going to be playing a Wario game, I would say this is the one to skip, if I'm being honest. Just didn't do it for me. As much as I liked a lot of the design elements that we talked about and the animation, like it is a showpiece on the Game Boy Color, but being a showpiece doesn't always translate to being a fun experience, and that's ultimately where this lands.
Yeah, it's the fact that you're kind of like trying to organically create these type of transformations or power ups
Yeah,
is it's interesting, but it's like both the blessing and the curse of this game, I think.
hmm,
And most of the time, once you got cursed, you hated it more than when it felt good to do it the first time. So
exactly. Plus, some of those things are offensive. Like you eat a donut and you're like a giant obese person. Like that's just rude.
one donut, come on.
Yeah, you can have at least a dozen. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think there's a reason this one doesn't get talked about too much for sure.
Yep.
It's safe to say.
Do you think they ever make a new Wario game that isn't like WarioWare?
Maybe. What was the last traditional one we got? Shake It? And that was still
Probably,
like
right?
motion controls. Yeah.
That was Wii, yeah.
I mean, if they're gonna do it, the Switch 2 would be the time to introduce it. Dust
Hmm.
off some old catalogs, but I mean, WarioWare is pretty great too, so it's hard to not root for more of that. Although the last ones
True,
have been like iffy.
but they've made two of those recently too, and
Yeah,
it's well, yeah.
he's probably due for another 3D platformer. Maybe they should revisit that,
Hmm.
or give Waluigi his own game. It's probably time.
Oh boy.
I still stand by the brilliant idea of they introduce a Mario versus Wario game where you play every stage traditionally as a Mario game, and then there's also like the reverso world where you have to play the levels in opposite order as a Wario or Luigi. I think it'd be cool. Like
That would be
flip,
cool.
like inverse, like the upside down in Stranger Things. But
It'd be cool to have a platformer, and I'm sure there's probably examples of this where one person is trying to get somewhere in the platformer, but somebody else controls the platforms to some degree.
yeah,
I'm sure that exists out there, but
be like a twist on like what is that, like whatever chicken horse game
yeah.
where you're just like more actively in it instead of just placing stuff. I could see that being fun. But yeah, I'm sure you're right. There's probably a dozen Steam games out there that do something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it'd be nice to see Nintendo try it.
Hmm.
But
Well,
is that an episode?
yeah, I think so. So you can send your Wario Land 3 love mail to us at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com. We probably won't read it because we're very stubborn with our opinions, but
Yeah. If you disagree with my opinions on the Virtual Boy, please let me know. But
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're opening that up since you deleted your comment, so they have to have some sort of
tell me
input,
I'm
right?
wrong in an email, people. Tell me I'm wrong in an email.
We also do a movie podcast with the Geekade Patreon exclusively on there. They also have a lot of cool podcasts that I pretty much guarantee that you would like if you like this one. So definitely check them out. But until next time, be kind, rewind.